Please stand by for the absolutely, completely random podcast. Coming up next, only on YouTube. Why it's not named Gladys Tube, I'll never know. Hello everybody, it's Saturday night. That's right. That can only mean one thing. Well, three actually. Friday's now in our rearview mirror. Sunday's creeping up on us really fast. And we're halfway through the weekend. Anyway, I'm Andrew Rhodes. I will be your host this week for the absolutely, completely random podcast. That's right, it's March 16th, 2019, and here are the topics that I'm going to discuss with you. That's right. I'm going to be talking about the new Aladdin trailer that dropped earlier this week, and holy crap, that was not the train wreck I was expecting it to be. That scares me. Crunchyroll and Adult Swim are getting into bed with each other. And that's a horrible, horrible thought to see. Microsoft has announced that Xbox Live for any iOS and Android games. It's an even scarier thought. The voice actor on Judgment has been arrested for cocaine, causing Sega to halt the game sales. Hayao Miyazaki is back not once but twice in this podcast because, one, his new film has no set deadline, and two, many people are going on a pilgrimage to see spots that they believe were from Spirited Away, and it's causing issues. There's a new Sailor Moon 4D experience planned for Universal Studios Japan, because they always get the good stuff. And Captain Marvel Skrulls are reminding people that Dragon Ball Evolution existed. And anything that can remind me that that abomination on the anime exists really isn't worth my time and effort. All this, maybe some more things, how my week went. Maybe my mom said something crazy this week. You never know. All that this week on the absolutely, completely random podcast where anything can happen. But before we go any further, you know the song and dance by now if you've been around here before. You can check out my eBay page. Hey, it helps to pay the light bills because it's a little extra scratch that I get each time around that I can use to get stuff for the podcast. Like the neat little boom arm, my mic, my camera, so on and so forth ad infinitum down the line. Check it out at ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. You can also follow me on Twitter at OtakeRoads and check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page because, yeah, I got Facebook, I got Twitter, I'm social. Yeah, I'm hip. I'm down. I'm getting jiggy with it. I am so out of the times. Alright, so let's start this week off with how did my week go? And this is actually quite an exciting week for us around here. So, let me start off with a little explanation, just go right into last Sunday. So last Sunday, my mom and grandfather spent most of the day trying to find something. They were doing a little treasure hunt, which about 3 o'clock we just said, you know what, screw it, we can't find it. It was getting a little too late to keep looking. They were getting a little tired. I was breathing in too much dust from when I jumped in to help. It's like, nah. So we just sat down and started watching some Walker, Texas Ranger, which I got my grandfather hooked on now. Well, it's good to be hooked on something, Yeah, kids that were hooked on phonics, and my grandfather's now somewhat hooked on Walker, Texas Ranger. I'll take it. It's a win. Something we can watch together, so for a while. So, let's fast forward a little bit. Now it's Sunday night. I have I don't have my cup anymore. I have it's a 44-ounce Dr. Pepper. I'm sitting in my room. I'm on my tablet. Just finishing up on my tablet, actually, because the battery was running a little low, and I was debating, do I really want to sit here and plug this in? Do I want to play it anymore tonight? I just want to go to bed early. Yeah, I'm just going to head to bed. Well, all of a sudden I hear this loud, I hear like a loud yelling and racket outside, thinking, now what the hell's going on outside now? And then I all of a sudden hear this loud banging noise. And then next thing I know, I'm hearing sirens. And I'm thinking, oh great, there's something going on that the cops are coming or the local fire department's going out. Well, turns out it was the latter. There's a building next door to me that turns out to be a 3-room apartment. It's one double, it's an upstairs and a downstairs. Then there's one single that's an upstairs and one single that's a downstairs. It caught fire. So, yeah, that happened this week. It caught fire. Happily, nobody was home. The one apartment was vacant. The upstairs, downstairs one, they were moving out. And the downstairs one, the tenant was at work. So, everybody happily was away. Nobody was hurt. The building's now been sitting there since the fire pretty much did a decent amount of trouble to it. It's been sitting there, with the wooden boards on it. They had to cut a hole in the roof to get the smoke out. It was a gigantic show out in front of my house. Or out front of, I shouldn't say my house, out in front of where I lived. For where I lived for most of the day. It was like, holy crap, this was insane. And this is like at night. It started like 9:30 at night, and it just kept going well into the morning and into the next day. And I was like, this has really been one weird day. And that was just that. So there was that happened. It was one massive, thing. Other than that, though, that was about the biggest thing this week. So, we had that happen. Monday was pretty much uneventful with us trying to avoid news media who was coming out to check on it. The local news stations were coming out to be a little nosy. I hate when they do that. I have a vice against reporters. Some of them I know are good because they actually care about the stories that they're talking about. And there are others, you can tell who they are, that all they care about is, I just want to get the story, I want to get my face out there to the public, I want them to know who I am, because I want to be this big shot reporter, and they suck at it. I hate people like that. So there was that this week. That happened. I got the very first episode, I was going to say the latest now, the very first episode of Andrew Discusses is up. Where I discuss smartphones. Do we actually need them? So that's actually pretty cool. I've gotten some positive, I think, reviews for it so far. Next episodes, this is going to be a bi-weekly running opposite the anime GBU. And then when the anime GBU is done for the season, after episode 13, season 1 will be done. I'll be jumping into episode 13 or 14. I might just even it out this time. But anyway, once the anime GBU is done for season 1, then I'm going to, it'll be not every week, but still the same, because that gives me a chance to review topics and everything else, figure out what I'm going to discuss. But the next video, just for everybody to look forward to, I'm going to be discussing Street Hawk versus Knight Rider. Which one did it better? The show with the motorbike that could go 300 miles an hour and stop on a dime, apparently, or the show with the talking car? I think we all know where my money's going on this one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I had that started up. The upcoming Anime GBU episode this week is up in the air. I have one all set, ready to go. I just don't know if I want to do that one or if I have to quick re-record it. I'm gonna figure that out on Tuesday. So that'll be up next week. Well, actually, I should say this week by the time you're watching it. It'll be up either Thursday or Saturday. So you have that to look forward to. And that's pretty much up-to-date stuff with me here. Oh, don't forget the Q&A questions. Any more questions must be in by the 23rd. If I have to change the date because I get one too many questions and I don't really want to be talking for an entire hour on the Q&A, I'll announce it via either a quick video, or I'll put it up on the discussion section on my YouTube channel or on Twitter and Facebook. So check out all of those. You can find the links to my Twitter and Facebook pages in the About Me section on my channel. There are links to those. You can instantly click the Twitter and Facebook. It will take you to the Web Designer 18 Facebook page and to my Twitter page. So you have that. So just keep your eyes out if I have to say, hey, got to cut the questions off because I got one too many and I want to be able to answer them in a timely manner and everything else. So I'm looking forward to this Q&A for this month. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So let's get into the podcast, shall we? Because I got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a fun episode. It really is. Alright, so let's discuss this Aladdin trailer, because the new trailer dropped on, I want to say Tuesday, and I'm actually quite shocked at this. Now, I was expecting this, and I'm not going to lie, I was half expecting this to be a massive train wreck. The first trailer and the clips we've been getting, the shots of Will Smith's genie, were not something that I was really too particularly fond of. I went on a tangent on my rant video about that. Royally pissed off. I'm still mad about that. And I want to stress this before I go any further. I'm going to say this. The trailer still has problems, but for what it's pitching, it did a good job. But it still has issues. And I mean, you're not going to glance over these and sweep them under the rug. Issues, but for what it was pitching, it didn't do a bad job. I'm just going to get that out in the open right now. So the trailer drops, and we get a little more insight into everything. You have Jafar taking Aladdin to the Cave of Wonders, and Jafar looks really, really piss poor. I mean, Jafar in the animated movie was a hell of a lot more menacing. You could feel this evil vibe from him, like, I want to take over the world. You know, like, he could give the Power Rangers a run for his money, evil-wise. This one just kind of seems maniacal, like, I don't want to take over the whole world, I want to take over a small street corner in Agrabah. That's the kind of vibe I get from him. He's like a minute villain versus a massive villain. We're not talking cosmic scale of evil, we're talking, I want to basically own your little shop and overcharge people kind of evil. That I kind of feel the vibe from him on. But anyway, we see into the Cave of Wonders a little bit. We can see where the differences between the animated and the live action are going to be, because Will Smith's genie comes out and he goes, I hold my oath true to wishes 3. And I don't remember the genie ever saying those words when he was released from the lamp in the animated version. So you can automatically tell where the story is going to shift and alter a bit. But I will give them credit on this. This is honestly where I'm going to tip my hat to them and say they did a damn good job on this. The final portion of the trailer, they're playing one of the verses from the song A Whole New World. I actually like that song. It's one of my favorites. And they did a damn good job with that. That's the one thing I have got to admit on this trailer. You had each beat of that actually flowing along with the song perfectly. Aladdin being tossed into the water on the chair that he's tied to. Them dancing a bit. The genie and all those as the song's playing. They did a damn good job with that. I'm not going to lie. However, the fact that we're intermixing so much new stuff with the older stuff that you know from the series, and then the newer stuff that we're getting, makes me think, why didn't you just start with this? And I know somebody's going to go, well, the first one was just a teaser trailer. Yeah, but the teaser trailer is what you need to get a majority of the people to be interested in this. The deck was already stacked against Disney to begin with on this one because it's a live-action remake. We're sick and tired of them. You have Dumbo coming out, Aladdin, The Lion King. I think I heard rumors of a Pinocchio somewhere down the road. So all those things get more and more annoying as time goes on. So the deck was already stacked against them to begin with this. So their brilliant idea is, yeah, we're going to do a live action Aladdin movie, which they've already done stage plays of. So you figure it's already been done in a live action format. This is just, we're not spending a couple $1,000, like it's like $10,000 max budget for a play versus $100 million for the actual like movie, so to speak. That's where I kind of find my impression about it. But you just have this, it's the vibe that I get from this. Because you have Will Smith as the genie. I can't buy him as that genie. It's so disturbingly weird. You have Jasmine. I can admit I can buy her as Jasmine. I don't want to admit it too much, but I can buy it. If it's on like discount, I should say. I'll buy it as a discount Jasmine, but not as an actual, I'm Jasmine. And you all know my feelings on the Aladdin character. That was just piss poor acting, piss poor casting. But truthfully, it's not as bad as people think. You have the whole integrity of it, and the trailer did a good job of showing this. And like I said, if they would have started with this or said, this, like the live action movie is inspired by the animated movie Aladdin, it may not have been handled and hated as badly as it could have been. Those simple words, inspired by, would have made a hell of a lot of a big difference here. You wouldn't have had the massive, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. Oh my God, look at that genie. Robin Williams is spinning in his grave. You wouldn't have had stuff like that happening had you have said this live action version is inspired by the animated movie. You can still call it Aladdin, but say it's inspired by the animated movie and not actually just a live action remake of the animated movie. Because there's stuff in there that's different that wasn't in the original movie versus we're getting it now. Like the genie pushing Aladdin off magically to be with Jasmine. The genie making a joke, well, I can make you a prince, snapping his fingers and having a prince show up on a cliffside a little ways down the road. And you just see him going, you guys see my palace. You all see my palace? Yeah, you have stuff like that wasn't in the first movie versus we're getting it now, which, like I said, leads me to why didn't they just start with this and be done with it? Because at this point, it's like, well, we like the idea, we like the concept, but we have to deal with it. So that's what kind of annoys me with this. But other than that, I'm fine. The trailer was good. I was quite surprised. I was expecting this to be, like I said, a train wreck. I was expecting to go into this thinking, my God, this is an abomination. What the hell did they do? Oh, this is going to be horrible. And I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, this is good. I mean, it's not perfect, like I said, by any means. You still have the massive multitude of issues that you just cannot escape from. The crappy looking genie, Jafar looking like a watered down version of himself. Like, I just want to overcharge people in the streets. I don't want to take over the world type of evil. You have Jasmine as like a discount Jasmine, crap hole Aladdin there. Abu's basically just looking like, it is actually the wrong style monkey too. I want to get that right to begin with, because that definitely does not look like the right style of monkey. That looks like more like a capuchin from, and I could be wrong about that too, so don't shoot me if I am, because that kind of looks more like a capuchin, and I learned that from Night at the Museum, because that kind of looks like Dexter from Night at the Museum. So that instantly makes me think, if you're going to animate, like you just do like an animated, little monkey buddy and save yourself the possible problem with PETA. Animate a tiger in here. Animate the animals in here and make it, a hell of a lot cheaper. If you're going to do a live action version, I mean, Disney's not about pissing money away. They're about trying to make money. And, well, I guess you got to spend money to make money, but Disney may have bitten off a little more than that with this one. But either way, the trailer was good. Shocking, definitely, because like I said, I was expecting a train wreck. I was expecting to see, okay, this is a crappy genie. It's just going to be a shot-for-shot remake of the original Aladdin trailer for the animated movie. But I'm like, this is actually good. And that scares me. But then, like I said, if they would have just said inspired by, we wouldn't have had an issue like we have. We wouldn't have had this issue where it's like, well, I don't want to see this. It's not the original. It sucks. It's a crappy remake. Robin Williams, is going to haunt people from the dead. Versus, so Aladdin inspired this movie. This is actually pretty good. And they're still calling it Aladdin. Yeah, but it's inspired by Aladdin. It's not actually Aladdin, because they've added in new features to not make it actually Aladdin. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't know. You be the judge of it, though. The trailer is up. I'll try to have a link in the description if you want to check it out. Honestly, like I said, I was shocked. Honestly shocked about it. And that scares me. I mean, it's not it's good, but it's okay good. It's not, I'm going to, go and see it opening weekend good. It's okay good. Yeah, it's okay good. Alright, so let's talk about Crunchyroll and Adult Swim. Crunchyroll and I kind of have some issues with one another. I don't mind Crunchyroll for the fact that it streams anime. What I mind about Crunchyroll is that people never shut up about how good it is, and it's not that great of a site. I have seen anime on it, and I get bombarded with more ads on there than I do on YouTube. No, I'm not going to pay the money to get an account with them and have to pay a subscription price to see the stuff the same day it airs. I'll wait a damn week. I'm not in that big of a hurry. It's a legitimate streaming site. A lot of people claim it is the best. Personally, I think it's one of the most overrated sites there is. And just, to really go full blows on it, and don't get me wrong, I mean, it's not bad, but if I had a choice between watching anime on a dedicated YouTube channel, like YouTube suddenly came out with YouTube anime, and I had to choose between that or Crunchyroll, I'd sign up for YouTube's a hell of a lot faster than I would for Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll, I always swear, has some issues. Now, speaking of over-bloated egos and crappy not understanding what the hell they're doing, Adult Swim, the stoner programming of a cable network, I should say. I shouldn't say basic cable. You don't get that on basic cable. With regular cable, Adult Swim has announced that they're getting in bed with Crunchyroll in a partnership, a programming partnership. It's an expanded distribution deal, which they announced on Tuesday. Crunchyroll will now be a premier content partner for Adult Swim's Toonami programming block. So once again, Adult Swim's just lubing up their wonderful... Adult Swim and Cartoon Network are basically just lubing up the screwdriver and the broomstick and telling Toonami to bend over and take it. Poor Tom and Sarah aboard the Vindication. They just can't take much more of that. The Toonami block airs Saturday nights. It's always was one of my favorites. Sadly, I don't watch it anymore because I don't have cable, but I do keep up with it online. I do get to see clips and that, and I have watched, thanks to a dedicated and a couple really good YouTubers that do put up some of the Toonami stuff, like the Total Immersion events that they do, is how I was able to watch The Intruder 2, The Intruder 3, Countdown, all of which are really good. I have to admit that. But Toonami, I just wish they would just cut out the middleman and give Toonami its own damn channel. Let's just stop all this bullshit, stop all the crap, stop beating around the damn bush on this, and just give Toonami its own dedicated streaming channel. And I mean literally 24-hour Toonami streaming channel. Not like Toonami Jetstream was. I mean a dedicated one that you could put up on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, that stuff. Give them a dedicated streaming channel where you can either get free content with a crap ton of ads, or you can pay for a membership and you can get stuff ad-free because you're paying them. Do something like that, but have it you can stream it online and you can stream it on your streaming devices. I guarantee you it will make so much money that they will not know what to do with it. They will be making money hand over fist, and they won't know what to do with it. They will have to break stuff in their office just to make a dent in what they'll make in a day. I guarantee it. Because if you put it up on a streaming site, you can get much better anime because you can put it up online for people to watch it. They can put it up on their smartphones, their tablets, their computers, their desktops, their streaming services. Things like that, and they'll make a crap ton of money. So, the companies, though, are going to collaborate on licensed content, co-productions, and distribution opportunities. So, while Toonami and Cartoon Network, because for those of you out there that keep correcting me on this, here's a news flash for you. Adult Swim is actually a subsidiary of Cartoon Network. It is just the adult programming that a Cartoon Network doesn't want to have on during the day and have it on dedicated only at night. Therefore, it is still part of Cartoon Network as a whole. Think of Cartoon Network as the house, and Adult Swim as one of the rooms in that house, or like the basement or the attic. It's still part of the house. Therefore, it's still part of Cartoon Network, regardless if you want to admit it or not. It is. I'm sorry to say it, it is. So, while they're basically telling Toonami to bend over so Crunchyroll can pretty much just take it out, Crunchyroll's general manager, Joanne Wage, Waage, that's a weird last name, noted that the company's mission is to grow anime globally, and the Adult Swim partnership will help further that goal because Toonami has been incredibly influential in the growth of the anime here in the U.S. Well, no shit. Yeah, the announcement was also stated that Adult Swim reached about 90 million households. I guarantee you a majority of which have to be stoned in order to understand half of the crap on Adult Swim, with the exception of Rick and Morty and anything that came off of Fox, like American Dad, Family Guy, or things like that, Bob's Burgers. Those shows, you don't have to because Fox had them. And Adult Swim and them just like, hey, let us have like a license right to put up Bob's Burgers, or let us be able to air some episodes of American Dad, or some episodes of Family Guy. Let us be able to put those on our channel too. Not a problem. Here you go. Yeah, let's do this. And then it's like for their other stuff, like, and I'm going to quote this one, you had a show on there called Tim and Eric, Awesome Show, Great Job. That hurt my head just trying to watch one episode of that more than anything. There was at first I thought it was a commercial, then it turned out to actually be a show about some lady that got hit by her minivan. Then it turned out that she was a copy of herself, and she crawled home to be with her family. It turned out she was a copy of herself, and I got completely lost and confused, and I was like, this is idiotic. And that's what they have on the air for people to watch. So, I will say it again, it's stoner programming. You have to be high in order to understand this. And I do not condone drug use at all. But that's what it feels like. So I can't figure it out. I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, the hell am I watching? It's not a program for, everybody. And they're claiming that it's a program for everybody. It's not. Rick and Morty is, because that's something everybody can enjoy. Most of the Fox stuff, everybody can enjoy that. Adult Swim's original programming, I can't figure it out to save my life. I'm sorry, I can't. So, they're going to do this little deal because Crunchyroll has 45 million registered users with 2 million streaming subscribers. So, 45 million registered users and 2 million streaming subscribers. That doesn't sound very right there. Because if you have 45 million registered users, wouldn't you have 45 million streaming subscribers? Or am I just a little confused here? Because I know there's a free version of Crunchyroll, so you're saying that 45 million people watch the free version of Crunchyroll, but then they're not registered users, but you have 2 million registered users that stream the service? Or is it we have 45 million registered users, but only 2 million of them actually stream our service? Opens up a questionable thing there. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Warner Media, though, the new content company created after the AT&T acquisition of Time Warner last year, announced a reorganization of its divisions earlier this month that will bring many of its subsidiaries and brands, including Otter Media, Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, Verve, Elation, all those, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and Boomerang into a single global kids and young adult unit. Adult Swim is still part of Cartoon Network. Boomerang is part of Cartoon Network. It's like talking to a brick wall because I give up. They're subsidiaries. It's still basically the same, under the same company, because you got to go to the one to get money. Unless they split that off somewhere and I didn't read it right, but you still have to go to them for money at some point. They air it on your channel. Unless Adult Swim has its own separate channel on cable. And I know Boomerang has its own separate channel, but yeah, if it has its own separate channel, but it's still a subsidiary. I mean, Nick Jr. has its own separate channel, and yet there's Nick Jr. stuff that airs on Nickelodeon. Playhouse Disney has stuff on, and it's part of its own, little subsidiary. There's subsidiaries. Whatever. Floats their boats. Okay, screw it. So Warner Brothers chairman and CEO Kevin Tsuchihara, I'm not even kidding, it's actually how it's pronounced. It's Tsuchihara, will have oversight of all Warner Media licensed consumer products in the company's effort to launch an integrated global approach to our kids and animation business. So does that mean Cartoon Network's going to finally pull its head out of its ass in regards to half its programming? Because the majority of the time it's Teen Titans Go. And I don't know about you, but I don't like Teen Titans Go. We Bare Bears was a good show. Steven Universe was a good show. Adventure Time was a good show. Because they had world building. Teen Titans Go has fart jokes and waffles. And that's it! Yeah. I'm not doing another rant video on those either. So the CEO stated that there will be chance for Warner Media brands to collaborate with opportunities to release new animated TV and digital products in coordination with Warner Animation Group features. This doesn't smell like it's going to end well. And I do mean this. You can kind of smell the burning from here. It doesn't seem like this is going to end well. Crunchyroll and Adult Swim announced back in November that they were partnering with Alcon Entertainment to produce an anime series based on Blade Runner 2049. I actually believe I talked about this. I don't remember completely. The sequel to the 1982 Blade Runner film. That's the one that, if I remember right, was Harrison Ford played Blade Runner. And somebody in the comments will correct me if I'm wrong. I know it. The series titled Blade Runner Black Lotus will have 13 episodes. And Adult Swim will have worldwide distribution rights to an English dubbed version outside of Asia and will air it in the United States on its Toonami block. Crunchyroll will stream the anime worldwide. And thus begins the downfall of Toonami once again. Let's see. It was on for 11 years before they canceled it the first time. Came back in 2012. It's 2019 now. So that was 7 years. We still got 4 years before it would have tied its predecessor. It ain't even going to tie the original. And it's going to get canceled again. Because this partnership is going to kill it. Look. Why have Toonami when you're partnering up with Crunchyroll? You can just have an anime block on your channel now. Or on your actual block. Because that's what Adult Swim is. It's a programming block. They run from this time to this time. That's a programming block. See my point? Toonami can just get its own channel at this point. If they want to team up with Crunchyroll, your best bet at this point, you'll have an open access to a crap ton of anime. Granted, Funimation yanked a lot of their stuff off of Crunchyroll for their Funimation Now service, but still, you could make a deal with Funimation to have, those programs still air and get newer stuff from Crunchyroll and actually come up with your own dedicated channel. You know what? I don't know what you're going to do. Who cares? You're going to screw it up somehow, and we're just all going to have to sit there and watch as the world burns around you because, well, it's just going to end badly. I pity Toonami. It lasted 7 years. I was hoping it would have lasted maybe 10. Maybe a nice even 10. Give us another decade of Toonami. You're only 3 years away from a decade of Toonami. Actually, it'd be May of this year. So you're not even 3 years away yet. It's a little over 3 years. Can we at least get 10 out of this? Maybe even 8? One more good year? Yeah, screw it. You're just going to ruin the whole damn thing. So, at Adult Swim, we just, screw it. This isn't going to end well. That's all I got. That's my final thought. It's not going to end well. Alright, so when you hear the words Microsoft and Xbox and Xbox Live and iOS and Android, what do you think? Do you think a massive amount of game systems? Do you think some weird computer company that screwed up an entire operating system, came out with a better operating system, killed that better operating system when they came out with a slightly crappier version of the operating system before that operating system, then murdered the crappier operating system by bringing out another operating system that's supposedly the final operating system because it can just be updated indefinitely with newer patches and downloads and updates, and you've completely been lost by now, huh? Okay. Microsoft has announced that Xbox Live is going to be good for any iOS or Android games. You can actually utilize Xbox Live to play your iOS and Android games. They're bringing the Xbox Live network to iOS and Android devices. It's going to be a cross-platform mobile software development kit, SDK, for game developers to bring Xbox Live functionality to games that run on iOS and Android. You know, something like what Google Play does. Xbox Live features like achievements. Google Play does that. Game scores. Google Play kind of keeps score of your shit too for achievements. Hero stats, friends list, clubs, and even some family settings will all be available on iOS and Android. Because, yeah, you don't want your kids playing... I don't want them playing that massive shooter game that everybody's talking about. I don't want them playing Fortnite on their tablets or their smartphones. But I will be fine with them playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It's all a bigger push, though, for Microsoft to make its Xbox games and service available across multiple platforms. Stick around to the end of the article; you're really gonna lose your mind. So, game developers are going to be able to pick and choose parts of Xbox Live to integrate into their games. It's going to be like an a la carte sort of deal here with the functionality of this. Like, I'm going to take the achievement section, and I want to take the scorekeeping and the friends list, and we're just going to mix that all together here and stir it up. You stir it up in this lovely bowl for about a couple minutes, and then BAM! You throw in an iOS device, or BAM! You throw in your Android device, bake this thing at 350 or 375, depending on what your system is, for approximately about 10 to 15 minutes. You pull that out, and bam, 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 it just makes money. I'm sorry, that was the stupidest joke ever, but I'm sorry. Yeah, so you're going to be able to integrate games and will be enabled through the single login to Microsoft account, which Microsoft wants everybody to have a Microsoft account lately. They're moving Paint to the Microsoft Store. So much of their stuff is like, you need to have a Microsoft account in order to use this. You need to have a Microsoft account. You need to have a Microsoft account. Here's a newsflash for you. I don't want a Microsoft account. That's a rant video in itself, I guess. Microsoft is using its identity network to support login, privacy, online safety, and child accounts. Because Microsoft is just the safest operating system and company ever. Vista, XP, Windows 8, Windows 10 update, 1509. I'm sorry, I have a bit of allergies. Whew. The safest online safety. Windows on it. 1509 update. I'm sorry. I really have some really bad sneezing there. I'm really... I'm sorry, I have really bad allergies there. Excuse me for a second. There we go. I'm sorry, that was just really bad. So Microsoft wants developers to take a similar approach to Minecraft for the Xbox Live thing, sort of. So, they believe so strongly in community and Xbox Live really being at the heart of their gaming community that they want to integrate it. If you want to if you watch what we've done, especially with Minecraft, over the past few years, they've taken Xbox Live to as many platforms as Minecraft is on as possible. That's a difficult sentence to read. Really utilizing all the communities together, or uniting, all the communities together with a constant singular experience for those games. I'm just going to skip here to the end, because this part here is where I started losing my mind. I started laughing hysterically that I started getting lightheaded. If you were hoping to see Xbox Live on Nintendo Switch, then you might have to wait a little longer. I'll let you pick your jaws up. Our goal is to really unite the 2 billion gamers of the world, and we're big fans of our Xbox Live community. But we don't have any specific announcements as it relates to Switch today. Xbox Live on PlayStation 4 also looks unlikely, but Microsoft is open to the idea if Sony is willing to allow it. If you've watched us for the past few years, we've taken a very inclusive approach. They have been very proactive on issues like cross-play, cross-progression, and uniting gamer networks. And we're willing to partner with the industry as much as we possibly can. So, let me get this straight. So, Microsoft would like you to be able to use your Microsoft account to log into Xbox Live while playing your PS4. I remember the Angry Video Game Nerd made a comment about this a long time ago in one of his past episodes. So a big shout out here to James Rolfe, because I remember this. You said that, it's for the Atari games, I think, because they had those, it was the Atari games. Because you had the home consoles that had the same cartridge style as the Atari games, that you could play the home, like, discount ones, like the Sears games. You could play those cartridges on an Atari or something like that. And you said that would be like playing an Xbox game on your PlayStation 3. Well, good news! You're getting closer to that now. It's soon going to be one unified game system. And you might have to wait a little longer for it to be on the Nintendo Switch. I don't think Nintendo's going to like that. They're probably going to send Mario over to beat the crap. What the hell is Xbox's mascot anyway? I don't think they ever have. I don't think Sony has one. I know Mario's is Nintendo. So let's have Mario go over and Goomba stomp on just Goomba stomp on Sony and Microsoft. Let's just have that happen. Because Nintendo's pretty much the big dog this year at the E3, because Sony's not going to be there, Bethesda's not going to be there. A couple other ones weren't going to show up this year. I don't think Microsoft or Sony. Oh no, I know Sony's. I know Sony isn't, but I don't think Microsoft's showing up this year because they're too busy trying to fix their issues from 1809. So, yeah. And I mean the Windows Update 1809, not the year 1809. But still, this is idiotic on Microsoft's part. So they want to make this a huge thing for cloud gaming. They want to be able to have everybody just, I want to play on my tablet. Then come out with, you already have a Windows tablet. Just come out with an Xbox tablet. Design your own damn system instead of just piggybacking off of everybody else. Oh, well, we're going to create the Xbox. Okay, that did extremely well. Xbox 360. Cool, so long as you don't get the Ring of Death. Xbox One. $500 well wasted. Xbox One S, which they should have just called Xbox Scorpio. It would have been a much kick-ass name. Much cooler. Put a fucking scorpion on the console. The Xbox Scorpio. That would have been so much cooler than what they had. No, we're just going to call it the Xbox One S. I don't even remember what the one they're coming out with now. But still, either way, this is weird. So yeah. So if you're interested in this, you just probably gotta wait a little bit. But it bothers me the fact that Microsoft basically wants to have Xbox on everything. They want Xbox Live on everything. Hell, if they had their way, Xbox Live would probably be on every single device ever made. Xbox Live toilet, Xbox Live bathtub, Xbox Live refrigerator. Now you can play your games while you're checking to see if you have enough milk to go to the store to pick some more up. Oh, hold on, honey. I'll be right with you. I just gotta take down this bad guy in Fortnite quick. I'll be right there. Alright, we're done. Or, oh, hold on a second. I gotta win this World Cup championship. It's only gonna take about 3 hours. No, don't worry. I'm just sitting on the can. It'll be fine. Microsoft Xbox Lawnmower. I mean, I'm just wondering what's going to happen next. You got the Xbox. If Xbox Live's going to be on iOS and Android devices. Scares the crap out of me to imagine that. You can also imagine how horrible they would be on, like, anything else. The Switch, the PS4. Let's just have some cross-platforms. Better yet, why don't the three of them just get together, create their own system, and Microsoft can put Xbox Live on that? Oh. Yep. So that's an interesting, no. Nah, no. I'll pass on it. I like my Android tablet the way it is. Xbox free. Hey, there's an idea for your next game system. Really confuse people. We're going to call it the Xbox free. Does that mean it's free? No, you still got to pay about $1,000 for it. Son of a bitch. So, some troubling news from the land of the rising sun. There's a voice actor in the newest game called Judgment, or what's the actual name of this thing? Hold on a second here. Okay, the name of the game is Judgment, aka Judge Eyes, as it's known here. The voice actor and musician Pierre Takai, he recently got arrested for being in possession of cocaine. And I'm going to explain, because they explained possession that he didn't really have it, but they did a test on him and proved that he did, and he admitted to having it. Yeah. However, because of this, the game's being pulled from Japanese shelves. Sales have been halted. I mean, like, screeching halt. We just grounded these things into the ground. It's like, you ain't going anywhere. Oh, no. You ain't setting 1 foot outside these doors. You're grounded. So that's sort of what they're doing here. So Taki was arrested for illegal drug use after a tip prompted investigators to search his home and vehicle. While no drugs were found, urine testing came up positive for cocaine, and he subsequently admitted to using a small amount. So, okay, well, you still would have had to have possessed it at some point, so I wasn't exactly too far off. If you would have had to have held it in your hand for even 1 second, that's considered possession. So he voices, what's ironic about this is he actually voices in this game a member of the Yakuza, which is the Japanese mafia, so to speak. And it's really, honestly, scary about this. However, he does more than just this. So when he's not, snorting blow, basically, I'm sorry to say it that way, but that's how it is here. I'm sorry. A tasteless joke, I will admit. A tasteless joke. So when he's not snorting blow, I mean, he admitted to using it. I don't care if it's a small amount or not. While investigators searched for more details, Sega declared they were going to take action on their end and halt all digital and retail sales of Judgment until further notice, which is probably going to be never. So this is going to be like the Phantom game. Any copies that were sold are probably going to command high prices in 5-10 years if the game is any good. Sega and the folks at Ryuga Gotoku Studio have experienced this type of situation before, with Yakuza 4 actor Hiroki Narimiya was previously replaced as the in-game replaced as in the game due to his own cocaine allegations. This charge essentially means that Pierre Taki's career is basically over, which is really sad because here's the downside, folks. Now, we all know that there's an upcoming movie coming out because I talked about the trailer. I think I ranted about it or I talked about it on the podcast, Frozen 2. He voiced Olaf in not only the Frozen series and in Kingdom Hearts 3, and Disney is already looking to replace his ass in Frozen 2. So kiss your career down the toilet. Hope the blow was worth it because your career just took a nosedive straight down the gutter. You want to give out some public service announcements, just do some PSAs and go, I used to be a very prominent actor. I used to do voice acting. I was a musician. I did cocaine. And now I'm nothing. Because that's what you're basically going to be. And even if he's found innocent of the charges, his name was still dragged through the mud either way, so he's screwed either way. As for what the future fate of Judgment will be, Sega is still considering its next move. It's like a chess game, and they want to know, do we attack the Black Queen now, or do we wait until they get a little closer to our White King? That's what we want to go after here. So they're debating, how do we want to do this song and dance? Do we want to, take this out one at a time? Do we want to try to, what's a good word for prevent this from going any further? Do we just want to end the game now or what? Some Judgment-related tweets have been deleted and sales will stay in limbo until that decision has been made. Judgment is, at the time of this writing, still scheduled for a worldwide launch outside of Japan on June 25th. So it hasn't even been released yet. Whoa! Hasn't even been released yet and it's already going to be done. That's, wow. Moral of the story, kids, this is basically the moral of the story, kids. If you get famous, don't do drugs, okay? Because as Mr. Mackey always said, don't do drugs, okay? Because drugs are bad, okay? And if you do drugs, okay, bad things are going to happen to you, okay? You're going to lose your friends, okay? And your family's going to hate you, okay? So don't do drugs, okay? Because drugs are bad, okay? Truer words were never spoken, Mr. Mackey. Truer words were never spoken. Alright, I get to roll over my time that I have not talked about this man in a while counter again. Because Hayao Miyazaki is back into my doorstep. How much fun can I have with this guy? The man does not want to retire, yet he wants to retire. I always love this, I'm going to retire. I'm not going to retire. I'm coming out of retirement. I'm going to retire. I'm too old. I got one more movie in me. I'm going to retire. I'm going to work on a special short film for my studio. It's going to be part of a museum about all my works. I'm going to retire again. I'm back once again because I'm bored out of my mind. The man retires more times than I change underwear. Well, good news for him, because I guess he could stave off retirement till hell freezes over. His newest film has no set deadline, meaning he could technically work till hell freezes over, or until he dies, whichever comes first. I'm willing to bet on hell freezing over. But I'm not... I'm willing to bet on hell freezing over, but I'm not exactly sure how well hell freezing over is going to go for his career. Because if hell freezes over, we're all screwed anyway. So in Japanese, there's an English-derived phrase for taking things at one's own, usually leisurely pace. Let's see here. According to this, it's called mai pesu. And yes, I am not even going to try to spell that because it's got the weird-shaped E, which I'm assuming is a long E, because I never understood how the line over the E went. So according to a new essay from Studio Ghibli, I wonder if it had to be 500 words or less. Did they cite their sources? Yeah, I was going to do that for the essays I had to write in school all the damn time. Uber producer Toshio Suzuki that about describes the rate at which master director Hayao Miyazaki's latest film is coming together. You know, I can just see that conversation now. Hayao, Miyazaki, how's your film coming? Good. I drew a line today. That's great. That's great. Any chance it's gonna get done this year? Doubt it. Have 5,000 more lines to draw. Great. Thanks a lot there, pal. Any chance it's gonna get done, this year? It's 2018. We kind of want to have this wrapped up maybe December. Nah. Check back next year. Okay, did you draw another line today? I drew a circle. You're circling. We're moving up now. Hey, it's 2019. It's March. What do you say we get this thing knocked out by, I don't know, July? We go to the beach. We check out some pretty girls. What do you say? Come on. It'd be great. Summertime. We'll rent a little cottage or go to one of those inns. It'll be great. What do you say? Maybe we'll even hit a strip club, huh? What do you say? Hayao? Come on. Tell me you got some good news for me, Miyazaki. I drew another circle. Great. That's great. That's great. See you at lunch. God damn it! I'm sorry. That sounds stupid. That's basically about what you always get for this. It's like, it's taking its own damn sweet time. It's like, okay, there's perfection, and then there's, as my boss would say, being anal about something. Because she's made that point countless times towards me. Well, I think Andrew's really good at his job, but he's just a little anal about counting. He's a little anal about how everything's got to be lined up just perfect, and it takes so damn long. But he's really good. Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm really good at my job. I'm sorry that you think I'm anal about how stuff has to be lined up. It's my OCD. It's the way it is. Everything's got to be level. I hate that when it's not. Okay, so in normal film production, keep in mind, normal does not apply to Miyazaki here in any way, shape, or form. Deadline is pretty damn and darn important. And darn damn, it's important as all hell here, okay? The deadline is, this has to be done by this point. No exceptions, no extensions. Needs to be done. Is it done? No. Damn it! Sponsors need to know how long they'll be paying the cast and crew. The distributors need to line up dates for theaters. Suzuki seems to be betting that for a director with as much prestige as Hayao Miyazaki, they'll wait. Well, let's see. What films does the guy have under his belt? Kiki's Delivery Service was a Studio Ghibli film. Spirited Away. My Neighbor Totoro. So many films that I can't even name them all. Those are the three that instantly come to my mind. So you figure, yeah, okay, that's a hell of a lot of movies. Yes, you have a reputation that long precedes you. You could come over to the U.S. and I guarantee it'd be like, Hayao Miyazaki's coming. Isn't that the guy? Yeah, oh my God, he's a big anime guy. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. He makes animated movies really spectacular. And all of a sudden, he'd be like the Beatles were when they came over on the plane getting off. There'd be reporters, there'd be anime fans screaming his name. Miyazaki! Miyazaki, we love you! We love your work! You do such great jobs! They'd have to get security guards just to hold back the fanboys and the fangirls. Damn it, back you anime nerds! Back, god damn it! We can't hold back these otaku much longer. The otaku and the otaku are starting to take over. Get Miyazaki out of here! We can't hold him back! Next thing you know, they're charging hotels and everything else just to get a glimpse of the man. He's gonna be like a rock star. I'm on a roll tonight. I'm on a roll tonight. It's also possible the pace of the film is due to Miyazaki's age. Since as early as the 1990s, the director has noted that his pen isn't as fast as it used to be, and that he can't do marathon drawing sessions like he used to, which, like I said, it was a stupid joke that I made earlier with I drew a line, but it's still a valid point. The man is old. I mean, we're not talking like old as dirt here, but he's up there in age. I mean, he could drop dead at any moment, and then there's no film. Or just all mourning the loss of Miyazaki, in which case I'd be watching Kiki's Delivery Service, and I'd find a copy of Spirited Away, which I should have just bought today at Walmart for $10. But I'm going to see if I can't find it and a few other movies bundled into one thing on eBay, because there's a few movies that I really want to get my hands on. Mostly so I can review them, but mostly because I want to add them to my damn collection. Sorry about that. So Miyazaki's film is called, oh, this is going to be fun. Kimitachi wa do Iruku-ka. I probably mispronounced that like crazy, but it translates to How Do You Live? How does that translate to How Do You Live? Oh, wow, okay. With the title derived from the Genzaburo Yoshihino's 1937 novel of the same name. Suzuki's last update about the film came in August of last year, when he announced it would take about 3 or 4 more years. At the time, he also commented, "We're," in the quotation marks here, "doing things that weren't possible until now. It's going to be interesting, so please wait for it expectantly." In other words, look, Miyazaki's old. We have to keep waking him up every now and then. Make sure he's not dozing off at the pen. You know, give him a nice little blanket. Make sure he's nice and comfortable. Make sure he's happy. Make sure he draws his line today. I'm sorry, it's a tasteless joke. I'm sorry, but it stands, because you figure it goes, his pen isn't as fast. So yeah, you know, he probably would draw a line and look at it and go, "That's a good line." And then draw another line, and then another line. You know, that's how drawing works. You draw shapes, lines, circles, curves, you know, squares, stuff like that. That's what drawing is. I don't mean any disrespect, but it's just an easy joke to make, because never mind. Anyway, if you're looking forward to Miyazaki's next film, you're probably going to have to wait a little while yet, but at least we know it's coming. You know, like the dawn of another day and the end of the world, it's eventually going to be here. You know, at some point, it will be here. Somehow, some way, and at some point, it will show up. You know, and speaking of Spirited Away, fans have been causing some trouble. Yes, I know, fans cause trouble for a lot of things. You can't ever have something good without having some fans, you know, somehow manage to find a way to screw it up. I know. It hurts. And happily, none of my fans have done that. I'm really excited and happy to say that. Really makes me happy. I like my fans. I like the, you know, viewers. I talk with yous. Talk with all of yous, you know, as best I can. I don't mind communicating verbally if I have to, but otherwise I like talking, like, through messages. So those are my fun things. But anyway, fans have been causing some trouble with some ill-advised anime pilgrimages. And this is something that's gotten a lot of people really pissed. Now, an anime pilgrimage is a great opportunity for fans to visit the local spots that inspired their favorite TV series and movies. However, a fun way of experiencing what the movie was quickly and most assuredly turns into a massive issue after a little while. Especially when you're going on private property. It has nothing to do with an anime series or movie. And that's what went down with fans of Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki. The acclaimed film Spirited Away made their way to an unrelated shipyard. An unrelated shipbuilding yard that just happened to share something in common with one of the movie's most beloved scenes. And that's the scene where Chihiro's walking and you have the flooded out railroad tracks. She's walking to that platform. That's one of the most beloved scenes. That whole movie is good. It's going to be one of the anime GBU topics once I find a copy that I can watch it again and refresh myself with it. Granted, I could watch it online, but still, it defeats the purpose. Besides, I want it in my collection, damn it! I'll check eBay when I'm done with the podcast. I'll probably be on there, I guarantee it. I guarantee it'll be on eBay and I can get it cheaper. But anyway, so there's a moment in Spirited Away, like I said, where Chihiro follows an underwater tracks to the sea, or into the sea, and boards a train. So the shipbuilding yard has a similar setup. So rumors started flying online, because you know how wildly shit gets blown out of proportion online. One person on Twitter can claim they saw Bigfoot. Next thing you know, you got 70 Elvis impersonators out in the woods because they think Bigfoot is Elvis or something. It just gets blown way out of proportion. So, stuff started flying online about this site being the inspiration for that scene. It's not. However, this didn't stop fans from visiting in droves, trespassing and littering in the process, and pissing off the property owner. I mean, royally pissing him off. Now look, I would get annoyed too if somebody would come onto my private property because, hey look, this is part of something that was used as inspiration for a movie. No, it's not. I built that because I liked the movie. Get the hell off my lawn. That's how I would handle that. Then again, I would just let the local law enforcement do the talking for me. I want them off my lawn. I want them off my lawn now. Not a problem. Get off his lawn. So as one would imagine, the owner was none too pleased, posting photos and complaints on Facebook that have since happily been deleted. The owner, though, reiterated in a post that the yard is not the model for Spirited Away, or anything of the sort, adding, "This is where we hoist up ships for repair. The train tracks are work equipment." So more from the translated post via Kotaku, which is really fun here, was quoted as saying, the person was quoted as saying, "Would you be okay with 100 people coming to your house every day? I'm begging you, please don't come here anymore." And I sadly feel for the guy. I feel for the person, I really do. So there are signs now, please stay the hell away. Get the hell off. Private property. Do not come here. They've been littering. There's Starbucks cups everywhere. And there are pictures up of these people actually on the tracks. Some of the sample pictures of visitors were taking photos and posting the stuff online. There's like Starbucks coffee cups everywhere. There's pictures of people literally on the tracks. Now this is actually would be disturbing a business, which technically you could get your ass arrested for. Pilgrimage or not, some people are walking on the tracks, which is dangerous because you don't know how well maintained these are. I mean, stay the hell away, guys. Seriously. Hopefully the folks end up taking the hint and leave the site alone in the future. Their time would be better spent watching Spirited Away, for the 100th time. That's about how many times I've watched Kiki's Delivery Service. That's a damn good movie, too. But you don't see me going over to Venice and saying, "Hey, look, this is what inspired that part of Kiki's Delivery Service." Yeah, there's also a shipyard in Japan. That's a lie, damn it! I don't see me doing that. But yeah, seriously though, for any of my listeners in Japan, stay off the guy's property, okay? Stay off the owner's property. Anime pilgrimages are fun. If you want, I honestly think somebody should just literally come up with a tour of it for your country or something. You do a tour of, hey, we're going to go around and see the sites that inspired scenes in anime and just charge people to do it. Do it in a safe and constructive way. That way they can do research and everything else. Don't just pick a time and go and gather a whole bunch of people because you're just going to cause problems and you're trespassing. So, don't do it unless you absolutely positively want to do it. Do it in a group. Don't go individually or with a small set of your friends. Go as an actual constructive tour group. That's my PSA on this, because honestly, that just ends badly for everybody then. She's fighting evil by moonlight, she's winning love by daylight, and now she's getting a 4D experience that's planned for Universal Studios Japan. That's right, I'm talking about Sailor Moon. Everybody's favorite meatball-headed eyes on her small circles on her hair and her head. I never could figure that out, why her character looked like that in the series. Character show. It's the show where there's only one guy that's actually on the side of good and the rest of them are on the side of evil. I have yet to figure that out either, for why that is. And the good guy is Tuxedo Mask. I have yet to know why none of the other ones are actually considered good. I guess Artemis the White Cat is a guy, but then again, I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm going to have to really do some research on that one before I review that for the GBU. But anyway, if you happen to find yourself in Japan, first off, check out Mount Fuji. Second off, head to Akihabara. Maybe a slight stop off in Tokyo if you're really into the scenes of what the tourists want to go to. If you want an authentic one, just hit up some of the locals. They might be able to help you out. But if you find yourself in Japan this summer, you might want to swing by the Universal Studios theme park. Where you can pay the outrageous price. Probably still stay in that hotel, as that might be near the Disney resorts. You might be able to stay, in that Disney hotel with the Kingdom Hearts suite, where you have the key. It's like $400. I swear somebody's going to sell on eBay. So yeah, because you can get some Sailor Moon excitement. Since the park announced that Sailor Moon Pretty Guardians, Sailor Moon the Miracle... They have announced Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon the Miracle 4D Moon Palace Chapter, which is the latest interactive addition to the Universal Studio Japan's Cool Japan project. So, your acronym is USJCJP. And I thought Awooga from Phineas and Ferb was bad. The attraction will have a new story as its centerpiece, with all 10 of the Sailor Guardians taking part in the action along with Super Sailor Moon. Visitors will also be able to purchase an exclusive Universal Heart Compact during the event, because, that's the thing that allows Sailor Moon to transform, where she yells Moon Prism Power. At least I'm going off of the English dub, because I refuse to watch Sailor Moon Crystal. It could bite me. I watched one episode of it, the very first episode, and I was turned off by the theme song. And if I can't get through the theme song, that's a problem. But yes, you remember her compact as she yells Moon, Prism Power, and then she transforms into Sailor Moon, Defender of Justice. And by the light of the moon, she will punish you. And I can actually do the freaking pose, and it scares me that I can do the pose. Ah! It scares me I can do the pose. I watched way too much of this on TV when I was a kid. Way too damn much. Way too damn much. Which I guarantee you, though, somebody's probably going to get that compact and instantly sell that thing online. Okay, I bought one. I really don't want it. Click, list to eBay. I'm going to make a fortune on this. I wouldn't doubt it. According to the announcement, this one will feature even bigger effects than the first interactive Sailor Moon attraction, including a larger-than-life transformation sequence. You can visit the official website now and look for Moon Palace Chapter to run from May 31st to August 25th. And don't forget, by the light of the moon, she will punish you. So make sure you activate your Moon Prism Power when you go over and do this event in Japan. Really? It's I can do the pose! I can do the pose, and that scares the crap out of me that I can do the pose! Oh my god, it scares me! It scares the crap out of me! I can do the pose, and it scares me! God. I Sailor Jupiter, okay? That's the one that I like. So I'd probably do this, thing if I'd be over in Japan. If I could just team up with her for the entire thing and not team up with Sailor Wannabe there, I'd be happy with this. But she's the main character, so it's probably her I gotta be stuck with. Great! Can't get the older ones that give off the lesbian vibe. No, gotta watch. No, actually, no, I think that was implied in the one. That Uranus and Neptune were in a relationship with each other. So I think that actually was implied. So I'm not actually wrong in that. I think. Hold on, let me check. Because I want to make an apology if I am. Hold on. Oh, better check this quick. I don't want to say something stupid and have somebody jumping down my throat. Hold on. Characters. So I know I'm not going to pull up the whole thing here. Let's see here. You got Tuxedo Mask, yeah. Yeah, okay, he is. Tuxedo Mask is literally the only freaking guy in this entire... That's sad as hell! Is he seriously the only guy that's good in this entire series? What does he do? He fights with a cane! And, oh, God. Man, this show really hurts. This show knows where to hurt and knows where to hurt it bad. Okay, here we go. I'm pretty sure it was Uranus and Neptune. So, elegant, talented violinist, painter with family, money of age of their house partner. Yep! I was right. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, I was right. Okay, so Uranus and Neptune are a couple. Okay, cool. I was not wrong. Thank you. Okay, whew! Alright, I wasn't wrong. I wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong. Yes, Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune are officially a couple. They are, as they say, with her partner and lover, because Sailor Neptune's thing says that she's a painter with family, money of age, with her partner and lover, Haruka Tenno. And Haruka Tenno is Sailor Uranus. So I was right. Okay. Whew! I mean, like I said, I like Sailor Jupiter. She's always my favorite. But she's not the main character of the show. But if you could choose which one you could team up with, do you want to team up with the couple? Do you want to team up with Pluto? Do you want to team up with, Mercury, Mars, or Venus? Sailor Moon, her little chibi friend? Or do you just want to hang out with the only guy that's in this thing and just, go, hey, let's, just hang out, you and me, because I feel sorry for you. Hopefully you could do that, but I doubt highly you can. It's probably just going to be a whole Sailor Moon only thing, but still, it's not bad. But, like I said, just remember, by the light of the moon, she will punish you. And it still saddens me that I can do that pose. But yeah, so that's something that's coming out. When was it again? When the hell was this coming out again? May 31st to August 25th is when it's officially going to be running. So check it out if you're going to be over at Universal Studios Japan in that time. And yeah, look forward to when I get around to reviewing Sailor Moon on the Anime GBU, where I will be watching everything that I say. Because that ain't gonna end well that ain't gonna end well at all. I really gonna have to be careful on that one. Extremely careful. I'll make a note to myself when I get to that one. I have nothing against Sailor Moon. I like the original. I really do. It's one of my all-time favorites, but it's got some issues. But at least you can team up with them. So, yep. So, May 31st to August 25th. So, yep. Go Universal Studios Japan. Alright, so Captain Marvel's movie released, what was it? It was last week, and it got a lukewarm reception. Fans it wasn't the massive, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Marvel has a female superhero type of welcome that I think they were expecting. And I will admit how the one fan put it up on Twitter. It's like, look, DC already did this. And DC already blew everybody away with it with the Wonder Woman movie. So they're basically going, well, Marvel's just copying DC. And I hate to agree with them, but they're right. That's all it was. There was I think Dorkly did a meme where you have Captain Marvel looking at Nick Fury going, so are all the crying man babies ready to suck it up yet? That a strong female leads in the in charge for once, and Nick Fury's just like, you better see this. And it just goes, Captain Marvel, it's okay. So fans aren't exactly too they weren't open to the massive success of it. It's doing well last I checked, so still it's not doing bad. I mean, it's a Marvel movie. What Marvel movie has ever sucked? None. That's the answer. No Marvel movie has ever really sucked. They've all done extremely well. But this was the final character that they needed to get into the works for Avengers Endgame, which is coming out in April. Love the fact that they came out with a trailer for it that apparently is not spoiling jack shit, unlike other trailers, and not trying to blue ball us, unlike other trailers. But it might not seem very nice to remind everybody that Dragon Ball Evolution happened, because Otaku USA made that perfectly clear. However, look, we gotta face reality. It came out, it existed, it sucked. We all hate it. We all are joined in our mutual hatred of this abomination onto our eyes. Yes, we all agree in harmony that it sucked. We all get together, once or twice a millennium, and we convulge about how bad it was. It's a convention. We have t-shirts. And that's like once or twice a millennium. The live-action Abomination premiered back in 2009. However, it's back being discussed now a decade later, thanks in part to Captain Marvel. Of course, because Captain Marvel just can't leave well enough alone. Let the movie stay dead, please. It was dead, it was buried. We finally put cement over the grave, and you went and jackhammered the cement away. Thanks a lot. The latest Marvel movie, which sets the stage, like I said, nicely for Endgame, which is going to be a massive... Endgame's going to go gangbusters. There's no doubt about it. So, the Skrulls, the enemies of Captain Marvel in the movie, apparently are bringing back memories of Dragon Ball Evolution's villain, Lord Piccolo. And I'm looking at the pictures that are in this article, I have to sadly agree. And it's not a good thing. I didn't even make the comparison at first, and that's what really scares me. The Skrulls have looked that way for decades, so any hint of direct inspiration should be taken as a tongue-in-cheek rib at the film, at both films anyway. But when combined with Captain Marvel's insanely overpowered super moves, it's fun to draw some comparisons between the film and Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball saga. And yeah, it's just... Look, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Anything that's making me remember Dragon Ball Evolution is truly a bad idea. Okay? Dragon Ball Evolution was a goddamn train wreck. That movie sucked so bad it wasn't funny. First it was billed as a live-action Dragon Ball Z film. Then it got changed to a live-action Dragon Ball film. Then it basically got turned into Beverly Hills 90210 meets Karate Kid with a small smidgen of the Sorcerer's Apprentice mixed in, just for good measure. And that's what we got in this movie. It was horrible. And yes, I know, one of those movies didn't even exist yet when this one came out. I'm well aware. For good reason, I'm well aware. But anything that's making me remember that train wreck of a movie cannot and will not be a very good thing. But let's face it, like I said, it's a Marvel movie. So Captain Marvel's going to do wonderful at the box office. It's a Marvel movie. No Marvel movie that I know of has sucked. But the Skrull looked more Namekian. According to one Twitter user, Kevin Green on Twitter, the Skrulls look more Namekian than King Piccolo did from Evolution. And That's the sad truth about it. They do look more Namekian-like. Versus King Piccolo that looks like somebody just... I'm going to say it this way. It just basically looks like somebody found the mask and pissed him off, ripped his mask off, put it on top of this person, and he became an evil dictator without the massive, Leno chin. Basically what it looks like. And then you have the Skrull, which looked more Namekian and more menacing, actually, than Piccolo did. And yet it looks like it's the same, character mold, just reused and improved slightly. Like longer ears, some, lines on the forehead and the top of the head and side of the head, a little wider of a chin, a little more lines in the chin and that. Still, it's not a bad look, but honestly, it's... yeah. The Skrulls are making me remember King Piccolo from Evolution. I don't want to remember Dragon Ball Evolution. I didn't like Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't know anybody that did like Dragon Ball Evolution that can say it with a straight face. I love Dragon Ball Evolution. You're high, go home. I think it was great. You're drunk, go home. I think it was the most stupidest movie ever made. Come on in, my friend. You're perfectly fine. The movie was bad, and at least with Captain Marvel, they're just making little, like they said, tongue-in-cheek rib jabs at this. Because look, we know it's not exactly King Piccolo. We know it's just a comparison, and it's a long shot one at that. But you're making us remember the movie that sucked. You want people to go see your movie. You don't want them to remember a movie that they didn't want to go see. But still, I'm happy that it at least is brought out in the open. I honestly didn't even notice it, but then again, I never really saw the Skrull, and I never really cared enough to even look it up, because I'll admit this, Captain Marvel was... hell, she ain't even in my top 20. I'm sorry, I picked the Silver Surfer over her. If we want to talk about cosmic powers and parading around the universe, the Silver Surfer comes to my mind long before Captain Marvel. Long before Carol Danvers, I picked Nornrad. I'm sorry. Long before then do I pick the Silver Surfer, the Herald of Galactus. I will pick him over Captain Marvel any day of the week. Hell, I'll pick him over DC's Shazam any day of the week. But yeah, so there's that. So thanks for that reminder that Dragon Ball Evolution existed there, Marvel. Did not need to remember that. Alrighty, everybody, that's going to pretty much do it this week for the absolutely completely random podcast. I am sorry that I may have gone a little overboard this week time-wise. There was just a lot to talk about and a lot of fun to have, at the expense of the topics, basically. So don't forget, if you'd like a topic that you can find during the week that you'd like me to talk about, feel free to drop it. I'm just going to say it now at one of the 3 spots because nobody ever really emails me anything for this, and I've said it multiple times, so I'm just not going to say it anymore. Check it out and send it to me at one of the 3 spots, either on the discussion section on my YouTube channel, send it to me on Twitter at OtakuRoads, or drop a line onto the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. Links to both Twitter and Facebook can be found in the About Me section of my channel. Don't forget to have your Q&A questions in by March 23rd, unless I end up having to change the time, so you have till next Saturday night at midnight your time. That's right, 12:01 a.m. on the 24th. I will no longer be accepting questions. You basically will have 60 seconds after midnight strikes on the 24th. At that 60-second mark, that is it. Well, there you go. I'm being generous on that one. Unless, of course, I end up getting too many questions before then, because I want to try to keep the Q&As under, 40 minutes. It takes less time to render them and everything else, smaller size of the file. So, if that happens, that's about my idea. But anyway, don't forget to have your questions in, and until next week, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been the absolutely, completely random podcast. We now return you to your regularly scheduled day, already in progress. Bye, everybody, and I'll catch you all next week. See ya.